Beyond the Brain, Understanding Daniel Goleman and the Power of Emotional Intelligence. For a very long time, our society has been obsessed with a single number, the intelligence quotient. We were taught that if you had a high score in logic, math, and spatial reasoning, you were destined for success. We looked at the smartest kids in class and assumed they would become the leaders of the world. However, as we look around at our workplaces, our families, and our communities, we often see a strange phenomenon. People who are incredibly book-smart sometimes struggle to hold a job, maintain a relationship, or manage their own stress. Meanwhile, people with average academic scores often rise to the top of their fields. In the mid-1990s, a psychologist and journalist named Daniel Goleman provided the answer to this puzzle with his groundbreaking theory of emotional intelligence. He argued that our ability to understand and manage emotions is just as important, if not more important, than our analytical intelligence. To truly navigate the world, we need more than just a sharp mind, we need a wise heart. Daniel Goleman's theory is built on 5 main pillars that help us understand how emotions work within us and between us. The first pillar is self-awareness. This is the foundation of everything else. It is the ability to recognize an emotion the moment it happens. Many of us go through our lives reacting to things without knowing why. We might feel a sudden burst of anger or a wave of sadness, but we don't stop to name it. Goleman suggests that by becoming aware of our feelings, we can avoid being hijacked by them. If you can say to yourself, "I am feeling frustrated right now because of this situation," you create a tiny bit of space between the feeling and your action. This awareness allows you to stay in the driver's seat of your own life rather than being pulled around by every passing mood. The second pillar is self-regulation. Once you are aware of your emotions, what do you do with them? Self-regulation is the ability to manage those feelings so they don't lead to impulsive or harmful behavior. It is not about suppressing or hiding your emotions. It is about handling them in a healthy way. Imagine you receive a harsh email from a coworker. An impulsive reaction might be to type back an angry response immediately. A person with high emotional intelligence would recognize their anger, take a few deep breaths, and wait until they are calm to respond. This ability to pause and think before acting is what separates successful people from those who are constantly putting out fires caused by their own outbursts. It is about being the master of your emotions rather than their slave. The third pillar is motivation. Goleman is not talking about the kind of motivation that comes from money, fame, or grades. He is talking about intrinsic motivation, the inner drive to achieve for the sake of achievement itself. People with high emotional intelligence are often very productive because they have a clear sense of purpose and a high level of persistence. They are able to delay gratification, meaning they can work toward a long-term goal even when it is difficult or boring in the short term. They see setbacks not as failures, but as opportunities to learn and grow. Because they can manage their emotions, they don't get easily discouraged when things go wrong. Their passion keeps them moving forward even when the external rewards are not immediately visible. The fourth pillar moves from looking at ourselves to looking at others, empathy. This is the ability to recognize and understand the emotions of other people. It is about being able to read someone's facial expressions, tone of voice, and body language to understand how they are truly feeling, even if they aren't saying it out loud. Empathy is the social glue that holds our relationships together. When we show empathy, people feel heard and valued, which builds trust and cooperation. In a world that is increasingly divided, the ability to see things from someone else's perspective is perhaps the most vital skill we can possess. It allows us to resolve conflicts, lead teams effectively, and build deep, lasting connections with our friends and family. The fifth and final pillar is social skills. This is where all the other pillars come together in our interactions with the world. Social skills are the tools we use to influence, lead, and collaborate with others. A person with high social skills knows how to communicate clearly, how to inspire a group, and how to navigate the complex politics of social situations. They aren't just nice people, they are experts at managing the emotions of a group to reach a positive outcome. Whether it is a teacher managing a classroom, a manager leading a department, or a parent guiding a child, social skills are the practical application of emotional intelligence in our daily lives. One of the most exciting parts of Daniel Goleman's work is the idea that emotional intelligence is not something you are born with and stuck with forever. Unlike intelligence quotient, which is largely determined by genetics and stays relatively stable throughout your life, emotional intelligence can be learned and improved at any age. Goleman calls this emotional literacy. We can practice becoming more self-aware by meditating or journaling. We can improve our self-regulation by learning stress management techniques. We can build our empathy by practicing active listening and trying to understand different viewpoints. Our brains are plastic, meaning they can change and grow new connections based on our experiences and our efforts. This means that no matter where you are starting from, you can become more emotionally intelligent. Goleman also highlights the biological side of emotions, specifically something called the amygdala hijack. The amygdala is a small, almond-shaped part of the brain that acts like a smoke detector for danger. When it perceives a threat, whether it is a physical danger or just a social insult, it can take over the entire brain, triggering a fight or flight response. When this happens, the thinking part of our brain, the prefrontal cortex, shuts down. This is why we say things we regret when we are angry or why we freeze up during a stressful presentation. Emotional intelligence is essentially the process of training our thinking brain to stay connected to our feeling brain, so we can stay calm and rational even when our amygdala is trying to sound the alarm. In the professional world, the importance of emotional intelligence cannot be overstated. Goleman's research shows that for high-level leadership positions, emotional intelligence accounts for nearly 90% of what sets top performers apart from average ones. While technical skills are important for getting a job, it is emotional intelligence that helps you keep the job and get promoted. Leaders who lack emotional intelligence often create toxic environments where employees feel stressed and unappreciated. On the other hand, leaders with high emotional intelligence create resonant cultures where people feel energized and connected. In the modern economy, where teamwork and communication are more important than ever, being emotionally smart is the ultimate competitive advantage. Ultimately, Daniel Goleman's theory of emotional intelligence is a call to value our humanity. It reminds us that our feelings are not noise or weakness to be ignored, but essential data that can guide us toward better lives. By learning to tune into our own hearts and the hearts of others, we can make better decisions, build stronger communities, and live with a greater sense of peace and fulfillment. It is a journey that starts with a single question: what am I feeling right now? From that small seed of awareness, a whole world of understanding and growth can begin to bloom. Emotional intelligence is not just a psychological theory, it is a practical roadmap for becoming a more balanced, successful, and compassionate human being. If you found this exploration of Daniel Goleman and the 5 pillars of emotional intelligence helpful and want to learn more about how your mind and emotions work, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are committed to bringing you detailed and easy-to-understand explanations of the most important ideas in psychology and human behavior. Do not forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update when we post new videos.